I'm Isabella, and my boyfriend's name is Charlie. We've been dating for a few months now, but recently, he's been changing. When we started dating, he was so sweet and caring. He'd take me out for spontaneous treats and buy me lavish gifts. But lately, he's been mean and rude. He won't take me anywhere, and when his friends come over, he laughs at me and pokes fun at my insecurities. It's almost like he wants me to feel bad about myself. And if he does, he's definitely getting his wish.
And when we were watching a quiz show, she said that the Second World War started in 1873.
Charlie and his friends roared with laughter. In my defense, when we were watching the show, I was so tired, and I was only staying awake because he told me I had to. I didn't even want to play along with the stupid quiz. And now, he's regaling the entire embarrassing event for all of his dumb friends to laugh at me about. I left them in the bar, and they jeered. I felt like I was being booed. This isn't how you show love! And yet, he didn't relent. That night, I went home and went to the sofa. I knew Charlie would come in and make my night worse with more rude comments, and I just wanted to be away from it.
Bella, why are you crying in here?
I'm not crying.
Fine, sulking then. Why are you sulking in here?
I'm not sulking, I'm just tired. Go to bed. I want to go to sleep.
You can't go to sleep. I have to prepare for my interview tomorrow, and you said you'd help me.
I couldn't believe that he'd still hold me to that after he spent all day bullying me and belittling me. Why should I take time out of my day to help him? Just go to bed, Charlie. You've been awful to me all day. I just want to go to sleep and put this all behind us. He can be such a child. He stomped away to bed, and I could hear him sighing all the way in the spare room. The next morning, he woke up insanely early to get ready for his interview and made as much noise as possible, so it was impossible for me to sleep anymore.
Oh, I see you're up finally. Good. That means you can finally help me to prepare for this interview, and if I don't get it, you should know that it's absolutely your fault. You really should have helped me last night.
I'm sorry. Let's go through your answers for the interview, okay? Since he'd woken up at 5 a.m., we had a few hours before he needed to leave for his interview. He'd pressured me into using one of my vacation days to drive him there and back, and to keep him company in the waiting room. I really hadn't wanted to, but he's scarily adept at convincing me into doing things I don't really want to do. We spent all morning practicing. I would ask him questions, and he would give me answers. Most of the time, I was forced to advise him on how to answer the questions better. And each time I did it, he got angry. You shouldn't say that you don't have weaknesses. They're looking for honesty. Try saying you're too much of a perfectionist, or I get lost in the work sometimes.
I don't have weaknesses. You want me to lie? I bet you don't even want them to hire me.
The entire process was like pulling teeth. I can't fathom why he'd waste my time like this. He doesn't want help. He wants to complain about things. Finally, it's time to go to the interview. When we get to the office building, Charles is told to sit in the waiting area. There were 4 other people here, and the interviews were due to start any minute.
You should have gotten me here earlier. I would have made a better impression if I'd been on time.
You were the one who made us late. You were searching for ties until 20 minutes ago.
Then you should have made sure I had my suit out last night.
I was somewhat gratified that I wasn't the only one who was perplexed by Charles' behavior. The young man opposite us was giving Charles a distasteful look. But it's probably just stress that's making him act like this. If I want our relationship to work out, I have to be supportive through the good times and the bad. Okay, yeah, you're right. Next time, I'll be more prepared.
Next time? You expect me to not get the job? I knew I should have made sure you stayed awake to help me last night. God, you're so selfish. Charles McKinnon, please report to the interview room. Remember, if I don't get this job, it's on you.
The man who was sitting opposite us got up as Charles left. He introduced himself as Mark.
Come with me. I think you need to see this.
I was so nervous, but I followed the man, and we entered the interview room. Charles looked at me and was furious. Mark told me to sit by Charles, and then went to the other side of the desk.
I like to see how my potential future employees handle stress. I find that observing them in the waiting room is a great way to get a good idea about how they behave. And let me tell you, Mr. McKinnon, you've really set a new low. First, you make it clear that you're incapable of keeping yourself punctual. And second, you've even demonstrated that you have difficulty dressing yourself. It's remarkable you're able to string a sentence together. If you can't even accomplish such basic tasks on your own, why do you think we would want to hire someone such as yourself? I am an asset to any business as I am capable of working on a team or by myself.
It's so typical of Charles to not listen to a word of reprimand. Mark looks at me and sighs.
Mr. McKinnon, did you hear a thing I said? There's not a chance in the world I'll hire you for this job. However, you, young lady, I would like to consider.
Me? But I already have a job.
I will pay you double your current wage and throw in a month's paid leave every year if you quit your job now and come work for me. Her? But I'm the one you're supposed to be interviewing. Why would you want her? Because, as you've demonstrated, you trust her to navigate your entire day for you. She would be an ideal personal assistant.
I was stunned, but I accepted the job. I wanted the pay raise, but I also wanted Charles to see what his actions wrought. He behaved like a child, and now he isn't being offered the job. It just goes to show that treating people well is the only way to get ahead in life. Thanks for watching.